Welcome back to another episode of my podcast. And today we are actually off-site. We're not in our Queen West office where we normally shoot our podcast. We are at the St.Regis Hotel and Residence. And I will be doing this podcast with my good friend and colleague, Ari Zagury. Hello, Ari.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So basically the premise of this podcast today, we're going to go through the history of the St.Regis Hotel. Ari and myself, Ari has a listing on the market right now, and I will be prepping this unit that we're in right now. I really don't have to do a lot of prep work to this one because it's perfect.
It's literally immaculate.
Yeah. Thank you. My client has really good taste. But
He does. There's a wild piece of art over there.
Yeah, there is. It's all wrapped up, but I want to see it. So we'll be talking a little bit about the history. We'll also be talking about this building in Toronto, some of the history of this building. For some of you that don't know, it was originally the Trump Tower. And yeah, so let's just roll right into it.
Here we are.
Thanks, Ari.
St.Regis.
St.Regis Hotel. So, I mean, when I first got into real estate, I really didn't know much about the St.Regis. I didn't really know much about luxury properties, luxury condo properties in the city. There's four that kind of like are synonymous with luxury that I would say. St.Regis obviously being one, the Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, and now the Shangri-La.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've been in most of them, but I do love the St.Regis. I love the St.Regis because of how quiet it is. I notice when I come into the residence specifically and onto the 32nd floor to their concierge, it's always super quiet. And it always has that smell. I don't know if it's eucalyptus or what that smell is, but it is, it gives me this like tranquility when I first come in. And you get free coffee and water and cookies. That's always nice too. But I guess I'd like to ask you, like, what has your experience been in this building since you've been coming here?
Yeah, so it was interesting. It was the Trump, and Trump became unpopular.
Right.
And they decided that they needed to do a little rebrand. It was, I believe, the Adelaide Hotel during the transition to the St.Regis.
Right.
And then it became the St.Regis.
Right.
And it was part of the Marriott family.
Right.
And it's funny that, absolutely, like the sky lobby on the 32nd floor, it's so calm, it's serene almost, It's got an amazing view, but you're at Bay and Adelaide.
Yeah. So you're right downtown. You're in the middle of financial district, which has been like really great for like my client. That's why he loves this spot. Because he has meetings and his office is around the corner, so it's easy for him to, when he's in town, to stay here. But yeah, we're right in the thick of things, right in the middle of it all.
And that's definitely like one of the unique differentiators with the Four Seasons, the Ritz, and the Shang. Like here, you are at Bay and Adelaide. If you have a meeting, you can be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible. And being on Adelaide, you also have access, to the cultural corridor. Right.
Yeah.
So you got entertainment. And you got business.
Yeah.
You got business and leisure, one place. Plus throw a global brand like St.Regis and all the luxury that comes with that.
Right.
I think it's going to continue to attract high profile, high income, and also global audiences. Like,
totally.
Even if you look through the building, there's people from all over the world. It's really cool.
Yeah. A lot of athletes tend to stay in this building. So yeah.
Lots of good looking people.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah. And you're definitely part of that. You bring the average up.
Thanks, Ari. Make me blush. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about the history. John Jacob Astor.
Not Jack Astor.
Not Jack Astor, as you originally said. John Jacob Astor, in 1904, he built this first St.Regis in New York City. And it was a sister property to the partly owned Waldorf Astoria Hotel. Have you ever been to the Waldorf Astoria?
Yeah. So Mr. Astor was a part owner of the Waldorf.
Right.
I guess he was doing good.
Yeah.
He's one of the richest men at the time.
Okay.
He's like, I'm going to open my own thing.
Yeah, and he's like, let's just open this sister like next door down the street.
At 55th and 5th.
Okay.
Quite an iconic address, 55th and 5th.
5th, yeah.
That's 120 years ago.
You know New York a lot better than I do. I think I've only been there 2 or 3 times. So he opened it in 1904. What else do we have here on the old Wikipedia history?
Well, it's 120 years ago. So imagine at that time, there was less global and luxury brands operating in New York.
Yeah.
Right. So here we have a guy who came in, bold vision, and his whole thing was like the art of living.
Right.
You got to live right, live beautifully.
Right.
And back in that time, I'm sure it was one of the first. So you know, you're talking about 1904.
1904. They said that it cost about $5.5 million.
Can you imagine that? How much would that be today?
Yeah, that's
Maybe $1 billion.
it's got to be like at least 200 million.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're just making up numbers here.
And very, very interesting piece, which we discussed before the pod, and it's kind of tragic. But this gentleman, Mr. Astor, unfortunately and tragically passed away on the Titanic.
Which is wild.
I know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
That was a shocker for me.
So his family took it over, I'm assuming. I think his daughter was one of the ones that named the hotel, the St.Regis. Also wanted to talk about one of the rituals that actually happens here at 6 o'clock every day in the St.Regis hotels all around the world. They have a sabering ceremony where they hand out a free glass of champagne. So if you're, decide to come in, maybe go to the cocktail lounge one day, you can come and get a free glass of champagne. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until you mentioned it. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it's from like the time of Napoleon.
Okay. That's what it dates back to?
And sabering would be like sabering the champagne bottle.
Yes, exactly. With like a
just popping
sword.
it with your saber.
Yeah. Because everyone carried a saber on back then.
Some still do.
Yeah. Some do, yeah. What else we got here about the St. Regis? Some fun facts.
Well, coming back to the one in Toronto,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing here being in the, what floor are we on?
This is the 49th floor.
49th floor, right in the core. And look behind us, you have unobstructed views.
Yeah.
And I see water.
Yeah.
This is a spectacular unit, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, this unit is 2,264 square feet. It's a 2-bed, 3-bath, one of them being a powder bathroom. But we have eastern exposure, which is the best exposure. Also north, which isn't as good, but we keep the blinds closed. But the east view in the morning is amazing, and you can see, all the way out to Pickering. You can see the beaches right over there. So it's a beautiful unit, and my client has done a lot of work in here.
As I can tell, yeah.
Yeah, he's done new flooring. He's done marble floor in the kitchen, in the hallways, in the bathrooms. So he's been meticulous when renovating, when he first purchased it. And yeah, we're going to be going back to the market at a new great price.
Can you share the price with our viewers?
Might as well. Who cares? $2,550,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've
That's a
actually
great
come
price.
down quite substantially from where we were before. So yeah, if you have any buyers, Ari,
Absolutely.
bring them over.
Well, we got to sell them both at the same time so that we can do a saber
Yes.
at 6 o'clock. We do it.
But we're going to drink the whole bottle.
Absolutely.
Not just the glass.
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell me about your unit?
So mine's smaller, also stunning, also in great condition. Was never rented out.
Right.
My client bought it from the developer.
Okay.
And
Okay, so they're original from like 2018 when they were
yeah,
selling
straight
these
from
units?
JVF Capital or JCF Capital. And he's an international businessman. He's rarely even in town.
Yeah.
But when he is in town, he wanted to be right here, right in the financial district. And he wanted, all that this living in the St. Regis has to offer.
And I find that, a lot of the people that live here, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that, obviously the hotel amenities, which, you get. So you have, if you want it, you have butler service, you have cleaning services, you can order from the restaurant, they'll bring it up to you. You have, there's actually a BMW service that will pick you up in the city, kind of like an Uber, but it's all rolled into your maintenance. So that type of concierge and luxury, that's what a lot of the people that own in here, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, and honestly, it's unmatched. If you order delivery, you'll never have to go down and pick it up, even if the driver doesn't want to come up.
Exactly.
It will be brought to your door.
Yeah.
There's little things that anyone who has experience living in a condo, over the years, and once you've reached a certain status in life, can get quite frustrating.
Yeah.
And here it's unreal. There's so many things. They bring up your dry cleaning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the things for me, which is really important, and it's been a frustrating experience for myself living in condos,
Right.
is the turnover in staff.
Right.
And the lack of staff. Here, the concierge team, the property management team, they're full time.
Yeah.
You will never have some, paid duty security guard at the front desk that's just sitting there like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I just woke up out of bed and I'm here. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
You will always be taken care of. They will always know your name. They will always offer to help
Yeah.
carry anything,
Yeah.
open a door. when you bring guests over, you know that they'll be treated with dignity, respect.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's important, and especially, the St.Regis name, just like the Berkshire Hathaway name, means something worldwide.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool that, we have a mini Berkshire Hathaway takeover happening here at the St.Regis. Like, what a match made in heaven.
Yeah, absolutely.
But going back to my unit.
Yeah, go
quick
ahead.
Quick plug.
Yeah, no, I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
And we're going to go see it after this. So stay tuned for that video.
All right, so it's a 1+1, smaller than this one, but the +1 is proper, so you can definitely fit a bed in there.
Right.
And, it's being used as a bedroom right now.
Yeah, perfect.
Unit itself is about 1,450 square feet.
Okay.
So great size.
And it's open, it's like open kitchen, open living room.
Yeah, it's very modern, it's kind of like, I call it an ideal floor plan.
Yeah.
You got the kitchen, living, dining, open.
Right.
What more do you want?
Yeah. What's the maintenance on it?
The fees?
Yeah.
About $2,700,
Okay. Yeah.
which is what, like $2 a square foot?
Yeah.
But you get so much.
It's a little bit more, and even this one's over 4,000. But you are getting a lot with that, right? And if
we were joking about but like it's unbelievable what they do here
Exactly.
to take care of the residents. Like we mentioned the full-time staff. Like it's never just one person. Everyone's full-time, but also like they just celebrate everything.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Like the International Cotton Candy Day. There's cotton candy set up.
I didn't know that.
Like a pyramid of cotton candy set up
That's awesome.
for everyone to enjoy in the building. There's a cafe in the lobby.
Yeah, no, every
24/7.
time I come here, I always get a coffee and a water before I leave.
I'm sure they're counting. I'm sure they're counting
sure.
the amount of water bottles I've been taking.
Check marks. One thing I do notice when I come into this unit, my client's unit specifically, every time, it's always in an immaculate shape. Like cleaners come through here. I've never seen dust in here. The bed is always made the same. And like my client stays here a couple of days a week and the bed is always made. There's always a few things that he likes that's stocked in his pantry and in his fridge. Like he doesn't really keep food here, but he'll have like Diet Coke, he'll have a 6-pack of beer and a bottle of wine, and water bottles, always in the fridge. And then he'll have some snacks and they'll stock that for you.
Just living the dream.
Yeah. Yeah, we just need to sell a few more condos and we can live that.
Both of our units have the custom closets.
California closets.
And the finest, I'd say, features and finishes you can put into this building.
Yeah.
I noticed yours has some upgrades. Mine also has some upgrades. I think anyone right now that has a client looking at luxury and looking to be right in the mix of it all would be insane not to come check out both of our units.
Absolutely. And I think this time right now, the price is right.
I don't think you will ever find a better price to get into a St.Regis property.
Right.
Again.
Yeah.
Like this is planets have aligned.
Yeah.
And I even, the feedback I've been receiving off of my listing is the price is low.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So come and snatch it up.
We need to be priced right. We need to
absolutely.
be priced correct in this market. And that's why we're saying there's such an opportunity right now. A lot of these condos had traded at a lot higher price point before, a few years ago. So now is a good time because they're not making, this type of product really anymore. Right. So there's just such an opportunity with, the prices being a little bit lower and where they are and they're fair. So yeah, I know we've come down a couple of 100,000. So it's an opportunity.
Luxury of this standard pre-construction right now would start probably at $2,000-$3,000 a square foot.
Yeah, easily.
And now you have an opportunity to get in at 1,000, 1,200, 14, depending on the unit per square foot. You can even compare that with smaller markets in Canada. They're basically steals right now.
Totally.
For the finest luxury in the country.
Like we were talking about it earlier, Freed is coming out with a condo that should be launching in the next couple of weeks or so. Just at John in Adelaide, we drove right by it on the way here. The old Croc Rock.
Crazy.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know Croc Rock, maybe I won't go down that path.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
You're very lucky.
Yeah. I don't think Cameron knew about Croc Rock. He was like, what is that? No, he's too young. So anyways.
$1 drinks?
Yeah, and you have to watch out for cougars because apparently there's.
Was it Thursdays?
Thirsty cougar? Yeah, I don't know.
Thirsty? I don't know.
But anyway, Freed is now building a brand new hotel and residence right there on that old location, and I mean, those are going to sell for easily over $2,000 a square foot. So, and if that's going to be luxury, which, I mean, when I look at Shangri-La and I compare Shangri-La to this, you don't get the like opulence that you would here at the St. Regis and that you get at Shangri-La. Lower ceilings, doesn't have the same, moldings and finishes and heavy doors and, all the hardware, the hinges, like there's just quality in the St. Regis. And I don't know what Freed is going to come out with, but at over 2,000 a square foot, I'm guaranteeing it's going to be at. It could even be as high as like 2,500 a square foot. Who knows?
I think it'll be closer to 2,500. I haven't seen much about it yet. I've seen some renderings.
I've seen
looks
some
stunning.
renderings, yeah.
And I think there's a partnership with Takashi Murakami, or I think that's his name.
And there's like a
cool artist.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I don't know what it is. I can't remember what the name is, but
it's tough right now to launch a new project.
No, it is totally.
And even my clients, that ask me about pre-con, I tell them the truth. The deals are in resale condos downtown right now.
Right now.
And I think we heard from the Bank of Canada that by 2025, or the rates are going to be slashed in half.
Yeah, in half. But they should hopefully start coming down this year. I mean, towards the end of the year, we'll see.
So we say these things, and then we don't want to sound salesy when we say them, but this is really the time.
Yeah.
The time actually could have been 4 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to find out next month.
Yeah. Pretty cliche, like realtor.
Yeah.
The time is to buy now. But really, I mean, there is such an opportunity across the board, and especially in condos. Okay, so some of the amenities that are at the St. Regis, I thought we'd just go through that because that's obviously, part of the reason why this is such an opulent building and such a luxury building. Just to name a few, obviously they have their own pool. They have a gym. And Indoor pool.
Which is key because we live in Canada.
Yeah, that's
so it's
true.
all year round.
Year round. And they also have like a business and a conference room. Also the Concierge when you first walk in, which has an outdoor patio space and you can barbecue out there.
There's honestly never anyone out there.
No.
So it's amazing.
I think I've been out there 3 times, and one time there was someone on a phone. But other than that, yeah. Grab a glass of wine, maybe head down there. You can order wine from the Concierge or from the restaurant. Which, have you been to the restaurant? Have you been to Louis?
I have. Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Whenever you're entertaining or you have anyone in from out of town, what a great place to bring someone.
Right? Like if you lived in this unit and you could just go down and use that restaurant, utilize that restaurant, yeah.
And the lobby bar is incredible as well.
It is, yeah.
Good vibe, beautiful down there.
Yeah.
The gym is amazing.
Yeah.
Hot tub is huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got really everything you want, and that's part of the whole charm of living in this, hotel residence.
Exactly.
But it's got everything you need, and then some for sure.
Yeah.
Valet parking is also key.
Valet parking.
So it's exclusively valet parking here.
Yeah.
It's almost like a valet subscription, if you will.
Yeah.
If you don't have a car, obviously you don't need to use it. But if you have cars, you have valet.
I have used it, and I have seen some really nice vehicles. I saw a Mercedes Maybach come in here, and it was probably a $500,000 vehicle.
It's weird for some though, because a lot of people are used to having an assigned spot.
Right.
And they want to be able to go to their car and see it in the same place and know it,
know that it's there, and
it's like it requires a little adjustment. It's like, no, this is valet only.
Yeah, I mean the adjustment isn't hard really because they open the door for you and they say, and they greet you and say,
"Life is tough."
Yeah, here you go, sir. Go in the building. Yeah, so amenities are amazing here. One of the reasons why this is luxury living in Toronto. So we're gonna leave a bunch of links to Ari's unit, and the unit number is
4002.
4002. So there'll be a link in the description to that. Also, this unit 4902 will have a link in the description.
Different floor plan.
Different floor plan, yes. So if you have any questions about St. Regis, living at the St. Regis, or you just want to chat with one of us, you can also, we'll leave a link down in the description. And I want to thank Ari for being on this podcast. I really appreciate you coming out.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Yeah. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.